We are now 3 weeks from Election Day, so it is time for a weekly update on the polling. Today's video is going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, and I will have a visual aid for most of it. But before I put that up, I want to explain sort of what it is and how I made it. So I will have a map up here next to me in just a moment. To make the map, I used 270towin.com, and that is a reference to the 270 electoral college votes that a candidate needs in order to become president. It's a stupid system, but that's what we have. So, if you would like to do that as well, so on 270towin, they have different like polling sources that you can see, like based on their polling, this is what the map looks like. Or you can just get a blank map and fill it in yourself, and basically that's what I did. So for my polling information, I used 538.com, and for the entirety of the election, they have tracked the average of all polling, and so you can see how the candidates are doing, where they're getting farther apart, where it's coming closer together, for all 50 states. So I checked the polling for all 50 states and filled in the map color-coded based on those numbers. And I did the same metric for all states, no matter how frequently they may vote for one party or another. So if a candidate was leading by less than 3 points, I considered that a toss-up. If their lead was between 3 and 5 points, that is leaning for the candidate. Between 5 and 10 points is likely for that candidate. And if it's above 10 points, it is solid for that candidate. Color-coded in red and blue, red for Republican, blue for Democrat, and then shades of either like light blue, medium blue, dark blue, and vice versa. And then beige is the toss-up. So I will scoot over so I can make the map a little bit bigger, and we can get started. This is the map of where we currently are with polling, 3 weeks from Election Day. So I'll let you look at it for a moment. And yes, it is true, Texas and Georgia are toss-up states, and have been for a little while now, at least a little while within the process of this election. Normally, they are not. So, you're also going to want to notice at the top, the bar across the top of the map, so both candidates are trying to get to 270. That little notch in the middle is 270. So once they reach that, they win. Now you'll notice from that bar that Biden is over that center line, which means that based on current polling, Biden wins. You'll also notice that actually, before I get started with details of where we're at, this is a roller coaster. I have good news and bad news, and more good news and more bad news, but hopefully by the end I'll sort of level you off. So let's start looking at the details. You'll notice from this map and the bar graph above that in order for Biden to win, all he has to do is win the states that he's already pretty much guaranteed to win, and then win most of the states he is already likely to win. That's it. Now, in order for Trump to win, he has to win all of the states he is pretty much guaranteed to win, all the states he's likely to win, all the states that are already leaning toward him, every single one of the toss-up states, all 3 of the states that are currently lean Biden, which are North Carolina, Florida, and Arizona. And that's the big difference between this week and last week. Last week, North Carolina was a toss-up. Now it's lean Biden. But so Trump would have to win all those, plus 1 or 2 of the states that are currently likely to go to Biden. And I say 1 or 2 because it depends on how many electoral college votes that state has. So there are 5 that are currently likely Biden. Those are Nevada, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So if Trump has won all those other ones, plus gets Michigan or Pennsylvania, he wins. But if it's Nevada, Minnesota, or Wisconsin by themselves, that's not enough for him to win. He could get any 2 of those, or just Michigan or Pennsylvania, plus all all the lean Biden states, plus all the toss-ups, plus all the ones he's currently leading in. So that is a much higher hill to climb for Trump to win. But let's talk about the toss-up states. So there are 4 toss-up states right now. They are Texas, Georgia, doing this from memory, Iowa, and Ohio. Now currently, Trump is only leading in one of those, and that is Texas by 1.9. That's his current lead in Texas. The other ones Biden is leading, but again, by less than 3 points. So that's the good news for Biden. Now I have to burst that bubble a little bit, bring it back down. So even with this map, it is possible for Trump to win. Let me explain. So let's say, because it would be pretty reasonable to say that Trump wins all of these states that are pretty much guaranteed to him, likely to him, and leaning toward him. That he's leading in those by at least 3. It makes sense. Let's give those to him. Now you have the toss-up states. Now, toss-up, by definition, it could go, honestly, either way. So let's say that they all go for Trump, because that could happen. Then you have the 3 lean Biden states, which are North Carolina, Florida, and Arizona. Now, those are states where Biden is leading, but only by 3 to 5 points, which is a good lead, but not a great lead. So it is possible that Trump wins those states. So let's say that he wins all 3 of those, and then he just needs 1 or 2 more. Now, those last 1 or 2 are harder to win, but it is possible. This is the year of surprising news. It could happen. So even with this map, is it possible for Trump to win? Yes, it is. Is it likely that he will win? No. Because, bringing it back up again, this map is as good as it gets for a candidate like Biden. And not just like in any way descriptive of Biden himself and his candidacy. But if you wanted to win, this is as good as you could hope for. This is because Biden could throw away, could lose several states that he is currently leading in and still win. Whereas Trump not only needs to win the states he's leading in, plus toss-up states, plus lean Biden states, plus 1 or 2 likely Biden states. He has to win states that he's currently losing. Biden has states he can let go of. He shouldn't, but he has those available to him with current polling. This is as good as it gets. Bring it back down again. It's not guaranteed because of things like voter suppression, voter intimidation, misleading information and outright lies about mail-in ballots, the fact that it'll probably take at least a week for all the votes to be counted, the likelihood that Trump will get his Supreme Court pick appointed to the court, who then may rule on an election-related case in his favor. These are all things that are either currently happening or likely to happen, and none of them favor Biden. So that's where we are. Those are the numbers. This is the map. Let's try and even you out. What I would suggest, what I would say, what I would recommend is that if you feel that you can safely vote early in person, I would do that as soon as you can. If you are going to vote by mail, read the instructions out loud, slowly, at least 3 times, fill it out, mail it back as soon as you can. And then I would say, find a candidate that you like, whether that is Senate or Congress or City Council, and help them in some way. Whether that is making a small donation, requesting a yard sign, tweeting your support for them, or just texting your friends and being like, have you voted yet? Do you have a plan for voting? Do you have any questions? And I will also link some resources on voter information about candidates, not just on the presidential level, information about how you can find out, no matter where you live in the U.S., voter information for how to vote, when, and where. I will provide all of that in the description. So we are 3 weeks from the election. I will do more weekly updates the next 2 weeks. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to cover the election itself, because really it's an election week / month. So this is where we are right now. This is the map. Good luck.